picture, and we are going to get started. So welcome, hiking club crew. Woo-hoo. To this beautiful sunny Tuesday. And we are excited to see each and every one of you today. I know I was gone last week and I missed you all. I feel like there was a big void in my week without being here on our Zoom meeting. But I'm glad you got to spend some quality time with Elaine and Seth and Denise exploring the Philippines. So
that's all real time.
That's right, and Seth. This week we'll be back home in the United States, another national park to mark off of our list, and that is the Great Grand Teton National Park. Has anyone been there before?
Oh yeah.
No.
My mom and dad went, and my sister with my brother and my aunt all went, but I didn't go.
Okay.
Because they had a camper.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, that's helpful. It's helpful to have a place to stay when you can travel around like that. So,
but I didn't go, so.
Well, now you get to go virtually, Julie.
That's right.
Yep.
You had Ken.
So let's see where this place is on the map, huh?
What you gonna ask me first, Michelle?
Can anyone tell me which state it's in?
Wyoming.
Yes.
Nice,
I went to the park website and found out.
Nice, Emily. That's very resourceful. So let's do this. Let's see how far it is from us.
Let's do this.
I'm using Google Maps. So I love Google Maps. It's very helpful
I know where it
for
is.
directions. We're in old Chattanooga, Tennessee.
I know where it is.
Park.
I know where it is.
Okay.
Here we are, right over here.
Oh,
So it would take us 26 hours to drive all the way over to Northwest Wyoming to get to the Grand Teton National Park.
I know where it is.
I've never been to Wyoming.
So there's another national park we visited that's really close to that area. Does anyone remember what that's called? It's more here on the corner, closer to Montana.
I know.
What is it, Julie?
Grand Canyon.
Oh, that one's down here in Arizona.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This national park I'm thinking of is one of the oldest in the country. I think it was the first one established. Correct me if I'm wrong, Elaine.
What's the last step?
What's that, Seth?
Like you drive to it.
You could drive to it. These parks are very close together. It starts with a Y.
Yellowstone.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. So the Grand Teton National Park is really close to Yellowstone.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
That was a good guess, Julie.
So something about Yellowstone, you'll remember we had Old Faithful, and it's a really amazing place for all this geothermal activity. But Grand Teton National Park is known as a more peaceful park. It doesn't have as much of that going on, and it's very quaint and peaceful. So we'll learn today more about what you can do there, both during the year and in the winter, because it's December right now. So we'd like to see, it probably doesn't look like that, even though that's gorgeous.
Oh, yes.
I think it looks more like this right now.
Oh, look at that.
So this picture was taken either today or yesterday because I didn't see it when I was doing some research over the weekend. So we'll keep cruising here and see. Oh, what's happening in this picture?
It's skiing.
Yes. Do you think this is downhill or cross-country skiing?
I think cross-country.
Yes, Julie, good job. This is cross-country.
What's the difference, Michelle?
So cross-country is more flat because you're going across the country, across the landscape.
Yeah.
Downhill skiing is more on a very steep steep terrain
Yeah.
going down a mountain. And you use different kinds of skis for those activities too. I actually have a couple videos for us to watch today.
Let's do this.
That'll show us the difference. I'm glad you asked.
Cool.
I've only been skiing once.
So I spy a great big animal in this picture. Can anyone tell me what it is?
It's a
A
moose.
moose.
Yeah, there's two big moose there.
There's one over here too.
And here's a fun fact. So when you have more than one moose, do you think it's called mooses?
Yeah.
You think so? It's actually just moose. Yep, not meese, not mooses, just moose. These are two
Moose.
moose.
Two mooses.
Two
Oh,
moose.
yeah, I think I see it.
There's another
Yeah,
picture.
there he is up close.
Like
There's
that.
one here, too.
Oh, there's another one.
There
That
it is.
second.
Look
So
at
you
those
can
antlers.
see
Hi,
Up
Becca.
here where my
I like to have those antlers.
if you're ever looking at a place on Google Maps and you go to the latest photos, it'll tell you where it was, who took the picture, and when it was taken. So that can be helpful. Oh, isn't that
Oh,
Hey, those-
no.
That's pretty.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, so this is called Grand Teton National Park. We'll get more into the history of why it's Teton and what that means as we keep going. Oh, check this out.
Look, that's cute.
Whoa.
And that-
Whoa, dude. You're too close. You're too close. You're too close. You're too close.
Huh, what kind of bear is that?
Oh, Bill.
It's
No.
starts with a
It's a
G.
grizzly bear.
Grizzly bear.
Yes, it's a grizzly bear. Grizzly bears are pretty intense. So you can tell in the video she was pretty nervous because she kept saying too close, too close. You want to keep your distance from wild
Like this one,
animals,
yes, and that.
especially grizzly bears. Julie, do you have something to add?
That's cute.
Yeah, you know how I feel that they are? It's how big they are.
Yes. So grizzly bears, here, let's watch it again because we've seen a lot of places with black bears and they're generally smaller than these grizzlies.
Yeah.
They're just huge.
Whoa, dude.
That's cute.
Yeah, they are here.
And you can see they've kind of got a couple humps on their back.
Yeah.
Look at that face.
Oh, so from a grizzly bear to this little guy.
Oh, snow dog. That's cute.
Ah, you
So
go.
That is adorable.
So if you notice, the person who took this, oh, that's somebody else. So then this came from a different person with a cute little doggy. And another huge moose.
I want those antlers on my head.
Yeah. Oh, what is this?
Ooh,
Like a
bald
bald eagle.
eagle.
Yes,
eagle.
bald
Right.
eagle. Very good. What an amazing picture. They captured it with that beautiful background.
Yeah, I like the background.
Yeah.
I do too.
So let's go back to where we are on the map and see what it looks like in satellite mode. Okay, so who can tell me what this white stuff is right here?
Snow.
Oh,
Yes, there you go.
That snow.
We've got some snow. Why is there snow here but not down here?
Because it's all melted.
Good question.
Why do you think it would melt down here but not up here?
Because it's easier if it's high enough, it would get some snow, but if it's low, you don't get any.
Yes, very good, Julie. So right here, these are the Tetons, these are the mountains, and they have a higher elevation
Yeah.
than down here at the foothills or the meadows. Like here, you have meadows and flowers, but up here you can see these great peaks with the snow up on top. So it's colder at a higher elevation. Okay, we'll jump out of there now. So now that you have an idea, you kind of know where we are on the map today.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, excellent. So why don't we watch a little video
Let's do this.
and see, while we
Let's
watch this
do this.
video, I'm going to give you a few more fun facts about this place so we can feel like we're really there. Any questions before we get started?
Let's do this.
Do this.
Kendall, do you have something to add?
When we were looking at the moose pictures, I want to tell you is that the reason why they have those big antlers is they use those only for defense only. If another creature comes into their area, they can tell them to back off. 'Cause that's their area.
They're claiming their turf.
I think I'd back off if I ran into those big old antlers, Kendall.
Yeah, I think so too.
Let's do this.
Thank you, Alyssa.
You're welcome. Let's do this.
All right, so
Right.
this video right here is going to show us some of the hiking terrain that we'll see. And there are no words, you'll just hear me kind of talking over the video. The people who did this video, they were on the Teton Crest Trail, and they're going to show us a few different views of the park in different parts.
Let's do this.
So they took this
cool.
gondola way up into the top of these peaks of the Tetons. Those were the hikers, they were backpacking. So they had a lot of gear on their backs, and you can see, look at that whole vista. And those tall trees. So those trees are called conifers because they have cones, pine cones that they produce. And they don't, and they are green throughout the year. You can see some of the wildflowers down on the side and all that vegetation. So the wildlife that we'll see, there are 17 different species of carnivores, and that includes the grizzly bears that we saw and wolves. There are 22 different kinds of rodents, tinier little creatures, 6 different species of hoofed animals, 4 species of reptiles, 6 species of amphibians, 3 species of rabbits, 6 species of bats, 300 plus species of birds, 900 plus species of flowering plants, and 7 species of conifer trees that we were just talking about. So there's one of our hoofed animals. What is this right here?
A deer.
Yeah.
A female deer. No, it's doing.
That's so cute though. I could definitely
So
tell there's some white in the
Here
deer.
we can see a lot of the different kinds of plants because they have over 900 different species.
Wow.
No, thank you.
There's some lakes that we would walk by. Oh, there's a beautiful one, Marion.
Lots
So
of
a
pretty
few other
flowers.
things. Beautiful. I believe those are lupine flowers. So the park itself, you can see it's really big. It's not as big as Yellowstone. Oh, there's one of those rodents. I think that lives in the rocks. But it is 310,000 acres, which is, it turns out to be 45 miles long by 26 miles wide. This is Death Canyon Shelf. You had to be careful going on the edge there. You don't want to get too close, especially if you're afraid of heights. Oh, and look at that.
I am.
Sunrise. Yeah. So we talked about snow being up in the peaks. The highest peak, the highest elevation is on Grand Teton. That's one of the pinnacles, one of the peaks, and that's at 13,770 feet. The lowest point is Fish Creek, so a stream like this, and that's at 6,320 feet. So even though their lowest, their lowest at 6,000 feet is still a lot higher than we are right now here in Chattanooga. So we would still need to acclimate, that big word that we've talked about, when you go to higher elevations.
Ooh,
we
look at
might
that.
have a harder time catching our breath at those higher elevations.
I even took a screenshot of that beautiful view.
It's
That's
so
beautiful.
beautiful. I loved this video because it gave us so many different views of the park. It's like we get a snapshot of the whole park in a few minutes.
It's like if I go to the bathroom, I'll still be able to hear y'all as well because they're switching right to my
Look at
iPad.
Perfect.
That's Becca.
Perfect. Perfect.
So I just keep my headphones on.
Okay, so I'm going to stop us right there
That's so
and
pretty.
come back
Yep,
together.
she's doing it.
So are some of those trails trails that you would want to hike?
They look interesting. I like going to national parks, national historic sites, national monuments, and I can even talk to y'all through my headphones through a microphone.
Yes. The national parks are well maintained and they have amazing history, and they try to honor the history of people who lived there before the park was established. So we'll talk more about that in our meeting about Native Americans who lived there and the influence they had on this park before it was established as a park. So the year, let me look at my notes so I get this right. The year that it became a park was 1929. So that was 91 years ago. It hasn't quite reached its 100-year anniversary. And it was hugely in part with John D. Rockefeller. And he's a big figure in our history. He saw how beautiful this land was, and he bought a lot of the land and then donated it to the federal government so that they could create a national park. So many thanks to him and to people who had sight, they had vision to say, this is a beautiful place that we need to preserve for all of the future generations to enjoy. Because eventually, if they hadn't done that, this national park, I'm sure it would just be totally developed because it's so beautiful by those peaks, by the Tetons. So now we get to enjoy all of this pristine wilderness and the wildlife and the flora and the fauna, the trees and the plants, and become closer to nature through those national parks. Did I see a hand up? Okay. How about, I want to share with you a website that talks about a few different sports you can do in the winter. Now that we've seen what it looks like in the summer or the springtime, when all those flowers are blooming, let's see what it's like more when there's a little more snow on the ground. Here we go. Okay. So this is an organization called All Trips, and they're advertising for different winter activities in the national park. So you can do guided tours in an automobile like this. You can go snowmobiling. You can take sleigh rides. You can go snowshoeing. That's like the winter alternative to hiking. That's hiking in the snow. And then, like we saw before, cross-country skiing, dog sledding.
I want to do that.
Snow tubing, ice skating. So I have a few videos that show us snowshoeing, sleigh rides, and skiing. I'd like to see or hear from you. Which one would you like to see first?
I cannot even decide.
Hopefully we'll get to all of them. So if you would like to first watch sleigh rides through the Elk Preserve, raise your hand. Okay. If you would like to see some intense downhill skiing, raise your hand. Emily, tricky. I see that.
Yeah, I painted my nails, so that would be pretty for my cleaning this morning.
They're very pretty. If you would like to see snowshoeing or winter hiking, raise your hand. Okay. Hi, Evelyn. I think the crowd would like to first see a little sleighing. Going for a sleigh ride through the Elk Preserve. So I'll pull that video up and get it ready. So something that's really amazing about the Grand Teton National Park is that they have this huge national elk refuge. So I'll tell you a little bit more about that after this video.
Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay, here it comes.
What they said.
What?
Look at those huge elk.
Animals such as elk, sheep, and swans overwinter in this valley, providing a wonderful opportunity to watch and photograph some of the amazing wild locals. Located north of Jackson, Wyoming, the refuge was established in 1912 in order to provide a home for the overwintering elk. During the 20th century, thousands of elk died from starvation due to competition with livestock, resulting in a lack of food for the winter. As a result, 24,700 acres was established to provide an opportunity for the elk to find food and survive the environment's harsh winters. It is now believed there are approximately 11,000 elk in the Jackson herd. Considering the elk are a migratory species, many individuals will travel up to 60 miles to overwinter in the refuge. At the end of winter, the elk will leave the refuge, venturing back into the high country for the summer. When you visit the refuge, you'll notice an 8-foot fence along the refuge. The fence doesn't surround the entire refuge, but rather borders places of potential human-wildlife conflicts, such as car collisions. Along the fence are mounds called elk jumps. These gates are a way for the elk to enter the refuge along the fence. However, they must travel east or north in order to leave the refuge. If you love elk and are fascinated by wildlife, then be sure to check out the National Elk Refuge Sleigh Ride.
Oh, here it is. Here's our sleigh ride.
All right.
From mid-December to early April. I can definitely speak from experience that it's a great way to observe the elk and photograph some winter behavior. I will admit, the sleigh ride can be cold, so make sure you wear plenty of layers. You don't want miserable temperatures to ruin a wonderful experience.
You're making me cold to think of it.
So this may be a little, I'm pausing the video real quick. If some of you have seen like the carriage rides downtown in Chattanooga, that's typically you have like 1 or 2 seats for people. This is a huge sled pulled by 2 very powerful horses, or basically a huge sleigh behind those horses. And they're taking you through the elk refuge. So that's extra special. You are way out there in the wilderness with all of this wildlife around you. It seems pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pause it right there so we don't run out of time. Okay, so that's one winter activity we could do in Grand Teton National Park. We could go on a sleigh ride. What if we're feeling like we have tons of energy and we want something really exciting? We could go downhill skiing. So this is, I have a video for you on that, and it's really exciting. Okay.
So you guys, while Michelle's pulling that up, I heard Rachel say that she's been skiing once. Has anybody else ever been skiing?
Mm-mm.
No. Beth, you have?
I love to sled. I like sledding. I don't do.
You like sledding?
skiing.
Yes,
Yeah, me
yes,
too.
me too.
Sledding is fun.
Sledding is
Yeah.
fun.
I also
Yeah.
I usually went to Colorado for skiing, but we don't do that anymore because my mom just got too cold.
Yeah, it is pretty
because
cold.
her condition just got worse.
Yeah.
That video made me a little cold, y'all.
Well,
You'd be cold out there in that sleigh ride, Alyssa, in a t-shirt.
I'll make sure to lay layers.
I have. Her condition gets worse
in the
cold weather. Yeah.
But she loves snow though. But she just has a tough time in the snow.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this next one is also going to be cold, so get ready. This person who's recording this is like a pro skier. So he knows exactly what he's doing, and you're going to see some pretty cool flips and jumps.
Let's do
it. It's like watching a movie. So it's 2 minutes long.
Let's do this.
That's right. Let's see this guy.
Okay, his name is Tim Dirtshy. In the hole. Look at all that fresh powder.
Oh, I can see him as well as it. You're not seeing me ski. Nope.
Okay, I'll stop it right there. I hope nobody got nauseous watching that video.
Oh.
So that's more of an extreme sport, isn't it?
And taking care of it quickly.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it is.
To take care of something like that.
Did anyone feel kind of nervous watching that video?
I did. You will not see me ski.
Too scared to do it.
Yeah, it's like being on a roller coaster.
On snow.
Yeah.
Well,
never get on a roller coaster.
I prefer watching rather than trying to do that myself. It looks pretty scary.
Yeah.
And pretty intense. So if we want something that's maybe not quite so intense, but we can still use our skis, we can switch over to a little cross-country skiing. And I have a short video to show you what that's like.
Let's do this. Go do this.
Okay. All right, here it comes.
And if I could adjust the volume, I just push the button on my headphones.
Emily, those are snazzy.
Absolutely. Okay, so what it's saying down here at the bottom of this video is that the road that they use for the cross-country skiing, the grooming for it is funded by the Grand Teton National Park community. And that's the red line right here. That's the track.
You will not see me do that. I have.
So this time of skiing, you're in the a little more mellow than have two different kinds of skiing. The one where you're in the grooves over here, if you follow my cursor, that's called Nordic skiing. And then what this guy is doing right here is telemark skiing. So his heel is loose and he's making those marks. It's kind of like if you're ice skating, you do one foot in the other, kind of off in an angle. But here it's just straight and forward, back and forth. Okay, we'll stop the video right there. So that's one way that you can enjoy the scenery in a slower pace than the downhill skiing. That one, everything just blitzes by so fast because you're moving so fast.
Yeah.
So another winter activity that I wanted to show you is snowshoeing, because this is a virtual hiking club after all. So how do we hike in the winter? Well, we basically strap on what looks like tennis rackets to our feet. And I think if you were with us at another meeting, we got to see some of that with Rachel. Rachel showed us what some snowshoes look like. So now we're going to get to see it in the Grand Teton National Park. Okay.
Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you.
Okay. I think
You may be having some trouble, Michelle.
I know, Emily. I'm having trouble finding my video now that I've talked up snowshoeing so much. I think it was tucked away in one of these videos.
It's probably lost.
Well, it's somewhere in here.
So do you guys remember seeing Rachel, who is Philip's mom? Do you remember seeing her big snowshoe that she pulled out, and kind of know what Michelle's talking about?
Yeah.
What a snowshoe looks like.
I hope they are having a good holiday.
Yeah, me too. That's right. Besides, you guys, what some of you have talked about, which is Christmas. What holiday is currently going on right now? Does anybody know?
Oh, I know.
What is it, Rachel?
Hanukkah.
That's right, it's Hanukkah. So you guys, can you see my picture? So that's one type of a snowshoe. I think the one Rachel showed us was a little older than that, right? It was more wooden, but they kind of make them out of metal now with kind of different ways for your feet to be strapped in.
That's right. Thank you, Elaine. Okay, I found my video. I know I was just keeping you on the edge of your seat.
Dr. Young just wanted to drop something off.
All right. This is snowshoeing happening in the Grand Teton. So you can see up here in the clouds some of the Tetons in the background. And these are on his feet right now.
He looks like a pro.
He does, doesn't he?
That's so cool.
This is the Moose Wilson Road. So if you don't have snowshoes on, you might sink down pretty far into the snow.
Yep.
And this allows you to travel.
Here in Grand Teton National Park outside of Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Parked our vehicle at the Granite Canyon Trailhead, and we're snowshoeing down the Moose Wilson Road along the base of the Tetons. We might get off of the trail and head out into the timber a little bit here, but there's still some fog sitting on the Tetons. But it's about 9 degrees. The wind is blowing at 2 miles an hour with gusts to 3. So it's a great day to be out snowshoeing in the Tetons of Wyoming. We're going to see how far we're going to go today. What do you think?
So did you hear that? It was 9 degrees when they did this video.
Oh,
It's pretty cold. But you can
Yes.
see
I
down
got cold
here.
and had to throw my blanket on me.
So they're wearing their regular boots to keep their feet warm, and then they have those basically giant tennis rackets strapped to their feet so that they don't sink down too far into the snow. So another little video that I have for you talks about the transition from fall into winter. And I thought that was a fun thing to watch because that's what we're in right now. We're transitioning from fall into winter. I mean, in some parts of town, it feels like winter is completely here. And in other parts of town, the trees still have their colorful leaves on them. So we are in that transition, and I'd like for you to see what that looks like in the Tetons. Okay. This video
in the air.
will show a lot of different animals too.
The crisp sky in the morning. Wildlife make their seasonal migration. You can feel it in the biting wind and hear it through the crackling leaves. Fall is a time of transition. As vegetation fades, storms pass overhead. Creatures, large and small, settle in across the land, racing for the winter's long haul. And rain showers turn to snow. Landscapes of color disappear under sheets of white. The excitement of winter stirs us from within, with high hopes of what's to come.
So that's cute.
Days grow short, and nights set. Anticipation grows as we all dream for another season to begin.
That's cute. That's good.
Welcome to winter.
So before I exit out of this video, I want you to see these peaks in the background. These are the Tetons. And I told you we would explain how they got their name. So this goes back to our Native American history. What's believed is that the Shoshone Indians lived here before it was established as a park. And they called this area, this mountain range, the Tiwinot, which means many pinnacles. But 3 Frenchmen came and scouted out this area, and they named it the Tetons, and that name stuck over the years, which became their official name. So it has a lot of different influences. Something else, when we had the expedition of Lewis and Clark out west, that brought some of our European ancestors out that direction. And there were mountain men at that time who would hunt for beaver pelts. So the beaver pelts, do you know why those were so popular in the 1800s?
Why?
Good question, Jimmy. Well, the beaver pelt is very warm. So people would make beaver pelts into hats that they would wear with the tail on the back. And that would keep their head warm. It was also, so it was functional, but it was also a sign of prestige if you had a beaver pelt because it was valuable. So there was a lot of beaver hunting going on out west, and that included in the Grand Tetons. So that's how Jackson, you've heard of Jackson Hole or Jackson, Wyoming, which is right there by the Grand Teton National Park. There was a man that came out, Davy Jackson. He was one of the first mountain men in the area. So they named this area after him because of all of the exploring and scouting that he did there. So before we wrap up, I have a couple of things I want to show you. Some iconic pictures. So this website is basically why you'll fall in love with Grand Teton National Park, that they have mountaineering and hiking and backcountry camping. So something that stuck out to me was this barn. It's one of the most photographed barns in America called the T.A. Moulton Barn. So this is on Mormon Row. So when this land was first developed for anyone to live there who wasn't a Native American, there were a lot of Mormons who came in and built these ranch homes and barns. So you'll see this picture of this barn. It's pretty well known, the T.A. Moulton Barn. A symbol of Jackson Hole. So a lot of these places you can now go visit, like you can see, there are places to stay out there that are old lodges or barns, or places to visit and learn more about.
Sorry, I didn't mean for my echo show to go off.
Oh, you're okay. So you can see Mormon Row Historic District, National Museum of Wildlife Art. There are a lot of different things that you can see there outside of just hiking and being outside. There's a balloon company, the Antler Inn. This one's interesting. Antler Arches of Jackson. These are all antlers from elk that they made into
crazy.
Huge.
That's
dome.
cool.
Yeah, and here this is a moose's antler right up here. So it's nice that they advertise it's wheelchair accessible. And then, yeah, I'll stop sharing my screen. So you guys, that's most of what I have for you today about the Grand Teton. Julie, do you have something to add?
Yeah, when you show just the bone one, that reminds me a TV show that I used to watch that almost looks just like it.
Oh,
Little House on the Prairie.
Little House on the Prairie. Well, who knows? Maybe they used that barn to do some of their video footage.
I don't know if they did or not, but it almost looks like it.
Yeah, I believe Little House on the Prairie, or Laura Ingalls Wilder, who wrote the books, right? I think, isn't her home in Missouri or Mississippi? I feel like it's fairly close to us. It's down south somewhere, I think. Or maybe Indiana.
Yeah. She was in the hospital. I saw on TV that she was in the hospital for something. I don't know for what.
Wow.
Yeah, it was on TV. She was in the hospital. I don't know. I really don't know what's the matter with her.
Okay. Well, we'll wish her a speedy recovery. So, crew, there it is, Grand Teton National Park. One more national park to mark off our list for the United States. So, just a few things of housekeeping. Like we talked about at the beginning of this meeting, we will not be meeting next week because it's the holiday, the Christmas holiday.
Christmas.
That's right. So no meeting on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, talk about Christmas.
As well as there won't be another meeting after that because it'll be the New Year holiday that'll be upon us. So we won't see you until January 5th. And that'll
2021.
That's right, January 5th, 2021.
Yep.
So I will send out some information about that, about the dates that we're not meeting, and then the next date that we will meet. And I'll give you a little sneak peek. So our virtual hiking club, as we go into 2021, we're going to switch things up a little bit, and we're going to become an explorers club. So
I love it.
not only hiking, but we want to explore more about these different areas. So that'll open up so much more of the world to us to explore. Maybe it'll be a new city somewhere on the other side of the world, or maybe it'll be some interesting things about oceans. So we're going to still keep a lot of what we've been doing in these hiking club meetings, but we want to mix it up just a little bit and add some more information and some more fun activities for you in 2021.
Is it the same time?
It'll be the same time. Yes, Julie. And
Okay,
as we go, if you have a place that you want to explore more, please let us know. Send us an email or tell us about it, and we'll do some research and we'll go explore together. Kendall?
I wanted to show you this, but guess who's in my tree?
Who's in your tree? Santa Claus.
Oh.
Nope.
Oh.
Is it Elf?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Say
Oh,
about
guys,
charging my son, cause I will.
have the two little ones, which are one of them's right here.
Cute.
Yeah, 10.
Oh yeah.
I have a lot of Santas in my parents' place.
It's a pretty tree, Kendall.
And one pretty cute.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very nice, Kendall.
Guess what? We got. Guess what I'm gonna do tomorrow?
Yes, Julie.
And this
we're having a cafeteria party. This all three of us plus the custodian is coming. We're gonna have a Christmas party.
What? That would be
Is that where
fun.
you work, Julie?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that's fun,
We're gonna
Julie.
we're gonna have pizza, and I'm gonna bring some drinks and a cookie cake.
Woo!
Sounds like a party.
It sure does.
Oh yes. I love parties.
Me too.
I'm a party animal.
Well,
you guys, we hope that you have a wonderful holiday.
You too. Me too.
And we also hope that
Happy
if
birthday.
you thank you. A little early birthday shout out. I appreciate it, Rachel. And you guys, we hope that you'll be able to join us on Thursday for chilling. Okay, because that'll be our
I'll be there.
last chilling of the
I'll be
year.
there.
Okay, good. So, because we have some fun things planned for that. And then, of course, the last program of the week will be Zoomicize on Friday. So
that's right.
I'll be down for that too.
Me
too.
I've got to show up for that one for sure, Julie, because I plan on eating some extra sweets this holiday season.
Well, you guys, it is so good to see all of you. And hopefully we see you again this week before we sign off for the holidays. But if not, have a wonderful holiday season.
Look at that cat.
Bye.
Bye. I'll see you on Thursday.